Welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Tyler Madden. The Eastern Women's Lacrosse team is off to the best start in program history, currently sitting at a record in 5-1 under the leadership of a new head coach. And joining me here now is that new head coach of the Women's Warriors Lacrosse team, D7. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for asking me, Tyler. I'm excited about this.
So you bring a vast amount of experience to this Warriors team, decades coaching lacrosse at the high school level, along with the Division I, Division III levels collegiately, and you were a 2010 inductee into the Connecticut Lacrosse Foundation Hall of Fame. What led you to take this open position here at Eastern, and what excites you most about this new role?
That's a great question. So a lot of people have asked me this question, actually. I was really ready for a change. My kids are all grown and out of the house, and I love coaching. So there was a great opportunity to come here. Once I started doing a little more research on Eastern as a university and athletic program, I soon discovered that the academics in the university were really, really strong. And I felt like I can make an immediate impact with recruiting because the school, it sells itself. I like to tell recruits it's the best kept secret in Connecticut, in my opinion. Beautiful campus, great academics, strong athletic leadership from the athletic director and all the other coaches here. So it fit perfectly with my need for a change.
So talking about the game Tuesday, the team went down early 2-0 to Becker College, but then you battled back with a few goals of your own and didn't really look back from that point, winning 21-7. Can you talk to me about the mentality of this year's team not quitting after being down early in that game?
Yeah, that was a really rough start. I was not pleased, to say the least. That's one thing about me. I can't hide my body language on the sideline very well. I haven't learned how to do that after all these years of coaching. We had a really tough week. We had, I think, 5 games in 11 days, some tough opponents. We took on Skidmore, a non-conference top program. We had a short bench that day for a variety of reasons. So it was a really hard physical game. So coming into Becker, I think our bodies were tired, as well as mentally we were fatigued. And it just took us a little while to get going. Really proud of the girls on the field because they definitely were able to rally and start to kind of find their way out of the slow motion start we had. We didn't play fast. We didn't play our style of game. Give credit to Becker. They forced us into a lot of unforced, uncharacteristic errors. But I'm so proud of the girls because they did not get down. They didn't panic. They knew they had the skill to come back and that they just needed to start executing the little things. So I think one of the biggest mentality changes in this team is I've seen them from fall to now in the spring. They really have developed a great deal of confidence, not only in their individual skills, but more importantly in their teammates. And that's going to help them as we go into the LEC conference play starting soon.
So before your time here at East, you got to coach some of these new members on this Warriors team. Can you talk to me about those transfers and how they ended up here at Eastern?
Yeah. So interesting fact is there's actually 2 of the girls who were here before I had the job who also played on my club program. I've been running a club program since 2010 that's called Dodgers. So Alexa Jacobson, one of the captains, and Peyton Shannon, one of the sophomores, both played in my program when they were in high school, as well as some of the transfers. Basically, all those transfers kind of came here in a roundabout way and for a variety of different reasons. I do think COVID played a lot in the decision of 3 of the girls to transfer, being too far from home, expensive school being online, all those types of things. I do think to some degree I was an attraction to the girls to come to Eastern because I'm a known entity for them as a coach. They knew exactly what they were stepping into as far as how hard I was going to push them, as well as my expectations of the level of play. I think what's great is the kids who have transferred, and we have a lot of transfers, not just ones who came via my program, but Jessie is also a new transfer. It's been great because they all fit together so well as a group of transfers, but also as players among the full piece. And one of the things I find interesting about Eastern is they tend to have a lot of transfers in. but not many transfers out. So if you look at the roster, Nicole Gaston's a transfer, Sydney Hogan's a transfer, Tristan Kyjak's a transfer. So it's not like this year having transfers is new here. It's been kind of the norm for a while at Eastern. So we've just taken full advantage of that.
And so you look at this great start, 5-1, and every single one of those 5 wins, you posted 20 or more goals in that game. Can you talk about those transfers and the returners to this team, the offensive side of the game for your team this year?
Yeah, so even though I'm a very stat-driven coach, I really try to get the girls to focus on the team stats, because stats only show one side of, it's just one piece of our puzzle. So we've been really fortunate that everyone who steps on the field can score. And they're learning that the faster they move the ball among themselves, the easier it is for someone to put the ball in the back of the net. So it might start on defense with a great save by Sarah or Nicole, up through transition with either Bree or Lex. And then, once we get it down to attack, we have so many different weapons. I think it makes it very difficult for schools to stop us, because our middies can score, all 4 of our attackers can score. Nobody is just a feeder, and nobody is kind of a decoy. Everybody has the potential to score. So the kids always make fun of me because I have all these sayings that I use. And one of them is about, all the pieces of the puzzle need to fit together in order for us to be successful. Take out one piece, something's not going to work. So if we're missing one player, it's a lot harder to make that puzzle. I think that was one of the things that hurt us against Skidmore, honestly, where we did still put up 11 goals against them. We were missing a couple of key starters and had to juggle the lineup a little bit. But so proud of how these kids the girls have really come together. They trust each other. They share the ball. And that's why we're able to put up 20 goals in a game, because everybody can score and everybody is willing to share, which is important in this sport.
So you're looking to put those pieces together. You're starting conference play on Saturday against Castle here at home. What's the biggest point of emphasis, biggest thing you're looking towards as you get into conference play this year?
Since I've been hired, I have not been shy about this. I tell all the girls all the time, as well as anyone who will listen, I'm here to win a championship. I have full confidence in this group that they can get to the LEC championships this year and win it. I think we are strong from attack all the way back to defense and goalkeeping. So the biggest thing going into this is that they must keep their heads up. Recognize to some degree we do have a target on our back because of the scores we've been putting up, but they also need to understand that even if they get down by a little bit, we have the ability to come back. So my goal with the LECs is to win it, and the girls have bought into that, and that's what we're going to be doing. I mean, we're going to do everything we can to bring home a championship this spring.
So you mentioned it there, the goal of winning a championship. A new coach always brings in a new culture and new mentality to their team. What do you want people to know? They're going to tune into that game that's live streaming tomorrow at 4 p.m. about that team they see on the field against Castleton.
So they'll hear me. That's one thing. I'm going to be very honest. I have a loud voice that carries, and I coach a lot during the game. So that's the first thing people are going to notice. But team culture is really important to me, and it's something I'm very intentional about since I arrived in the fall. When I started, even before we got on campus, when we were doing team Zooms before the team started, it was really about trying to get the girls to trust me. I do bring in a different style than they had previously. I am loud. I do push kids to be the best that they could possibly be. But I really focus on the little things. I focus on how we walk out to the field. I focus on how we line up our bags and our sticks. How do we step on that field together as a group, not as individuals? I also love to focus, and we started this right from the get-go, on individual skills. Because in the game of lacrosse, if you're comfortable with the ball on your stick, no matter how much pressure is on you from the opponent, that then makes your teammates comfortable that you're going to be able to get out of that and move the ball to them. So we've really worked a lot on our stick skills and our lacrosse IQ, where to be for people. But culture is teaching kids to hold each other accountable, as well as to have each other's back, to support each other when they either have a bad practice or a bad game. They need to be able to come into this office, close the door, and say, hey, coach, that really wasn't fair, what happened, or, I'm upset about this. And we have to be able to have adult conversations, which can be difficult, and then come to an understanding. I think they recognize that both myself and Coach Ventresca care tremendously about the girls on the team, and we're going to be here for them. Whether they're struggling with something on the field, in the classroom, off the field in their life, we're here to support them, and we're teaching them how to support each other. So culture is really intentional and more important to me, honestly, than the wins. I think if you have a strong culture where people take care of each other and trust each other, the wins are going to take care of themselves. And I think you're beginning to really see that in the style that we play, where the ball does move to a lot of different people. Anybody on the field can catch and throw, and that's important.
Coach, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it, and good luck this weekend and the rest of the season.
Thank you, and thanks so much for asking me to do this. It's been a pleasure. So
absolutely, we were talking about the other day. We've been gone from sports for so long that we have so many games going on, but I don't think we'd have it any other way.
No, I will take game after game anytime.
And you can see the Coach Stefan and the Eastern Women's Lacrosse team in action tomorrow at 4 p.m. against Castleton here at home. You can see it streaming live on littleeast.tv/EasternCT.